Most startups fail before they ever ship, not because the founder lacked vision, because they ran out of money paying people to think. A typical founding team, CTO, designer, growth lead, ops manager, costs somewhere between $400,000 and $600,000 a year in salaries, equity, benefits, and the invisible tax of managing human beings with competing agendas. That number is not hypothetical. That is the median compensation stack for a seed stage team in any major tech market right now. And most founders burn through their runway before product market fit even enters the conversation. Welcome back to Venture Void. If you are building alone, building lean, or just trying to stop hemorrhaging cash on overhead that doesn't compound, this one is for you. Here's the problem nobody talks about honestly. Solo founders do not fail because they are not smart enough. They fail because they are forced to make a decision, hire slow and stay stuck, or hire fast and go broke. For decades, those were the only two options. You either had the network and the capital to assemble a team, or you bootstrapped yourself into a ceiling you couldn't break through alone. The cognitive load of running product, marketing, operations, and finance simultaneously as a single person is not sustainable. Something always gets deprioritized. Usually, it's the thing that would have made you money, and that gap, the execution gap between what you can think and what you can actually build and ship, is exactly what AI tools now close. Not theoretically, operationally. What we are talking about today is a specific stack, 5 to 7 tools working in combination that collectively replicate the core output of a founding team. Not perfectly, not emotionally, but functionally, and for under $500 a month all in. Let's build this out layer by layer. The first layer is your technical co-founder. If you are hiring a CTO or a senior developer right now in San Francisco, you are looking at $160,000 base minimum plus equity. What you are replacing that with is a combination of Claude or GPT-4 for architecture decisions and code logic, and Cursor or GitHub Copilot for actual and editor development. Cursor Pro runs $20 a month. Claude Pro runs $20 a month. A solo founder with zero traditional coding background is now shipping functional full-stack applications using these two tools together. Concrete example, a founder in the B2B SaaS space used Cursor to build an internal client dashboard, described the feature logic in plain English, iterated through errors with Claude explaining what broke and why, and shipped a working MVP in 11 days. No agency, no contractor, 11 days. The tools do not replace judgment, but they amplify whatever judgment you have by about 10 times. The second layer is your designer. A mid-level product designer in a startup context costs $80,000 to $110,000 annually, and that's before you factor in the revision cycles, the Figma licenses, the back and forth. What replaces this is Midjourney at $10 a month for visual ideation and brand direction, and Framer or Webflow for execution. Framer's AI features now let you describe a landing page in a sentence and get a deployable draft in under 2 minutes. You then iterate visually without touching code. A DTC brand founder used this combination to launch 3 product landing pages in a single weekend, tested conversion rates across all 3 with $50 ad spend, and scaled the winner. Total design cost for the month, $30. The third layer is growth. A growth lead or head of marketing at a funded startup is another $120,000 to $140,000. What you are replacing that function with is a combination of Perplexity Pro for real-time competitive research at $20 a month and a Claude or ChatGPT workflow for content and copy production. Here's where it gets specific. You build a system prompt once, your brand voice, your ICP, your positioning, your competitor differentiators, and every piece of content you produce runs through that context. Email sequences, LinkedIn posts, landing page copy, ad creative, SEO articles. The system does not get tired, does not have bad days, does not bill you for an extra revision. One founder in the consulting space used this to maintain a 5-day-a-week LinkedIn posting schedule, a weekly newsletter, and 2 SEO articles a month, entirely AI assisted, and grew from 0 to 4,000 followers and 12 inbound leads in 90 days. That is a growth engine that would have cost $100,000 in salary, running for roughly $60 a month. The fourth layer is operations. This is the one founders underestimate most. Ops is not glamorous, but it is where time goes to die. Scheduling, CRM management, follow-ups, contract generation, invoicing, onboarding workflows. A good ops manager costs $70,000 to $90,000. What you replace this with is a combination of Notion AI for documentation and SOPs at $10 a month added to your existing Notion plan, Zapier, or Make for automation workflows at roughly $20 to $50 a month depending on volume, and for client-facing businesses, something like Honeybook or a lightweight CRM with built-in AI features. You build your onboarding workflow once in Notion, connect triggers through Zapier, and every new client automatically gets their welcome email, their onboarding doc, their first check-in scheduled, and their invoice generated. No human touch required until relationship management actually matters. The fifth layer is your strategic advisor function. This is the thinking layer, the person who challenges your assumptions, identifies blind spots, plays devil's advocate on your pricing model or go-to-market or product roadmap. Traditionally, this is a fractional C-suite hire, an advisor with equity, or an expensive consultant. What replaces this is a structured prompting practice, using Claude or GPT-4o with custom GPTs built around specific frameworks. You prompt it as a skeptical board member. You give it your pitch deck and ask it to find the 3 weakest assumptions. You give it your pricing page and ask it to argue for why a rational buyer would not convert. The output is not always right, but it forces clarity in a way that is genuinely useful. Monthly cost, $0, covered by the subscriptions you already have. Now for the catch, because there is always a catch, and glossing over it would be a disservice. This stack does not replace judgment, it amplifies judgment. If you have bad instincts about your market, bad taste in design, or a flawed business model, these tools will help you execute your bad ideas faster and more efficiently. They will make your mistakes look polished. The founder who succeeds with this stack is the one who brings genuine domain expertise, real market insight, and the discipline to use these tools systematically rather than sporadically. The stack also has a learning curve. The first 2 to 3 weeks feel slow. You are building prompts, building workflows, figuring out where each tool breaks down and where it shines. Most people quit in week 2 and conclude that AI doesn't work. That is the wrong conclusion. That is a workflow problem, not a technology problem. There's also a ceiling. At a certain scale, probably somewhere between 10 and 20 full-time employees, you will need humans in some of these roles. The stack does not scale to a 100-person organization, but it absolutely scales a solo founder to 7 figures in revenue, which is the goal we are talking about here. Here's what this actually adds up to. Cursor Pro, $20. Claude Pro, $20. Midjourney, $10. Perplexity, Pro, $20. Framer or Webflow, $15 to $23. Notion AI, $10. Zapier Starter, approximately $20. All in, you are between $115 and $125 a month for the core stack. Even if you double that with premium tiers and additional tools, you're at $250 to $300 a month. Against a $400,000 founding team, that is not a cost reduction. That is a structural shift in what it costs to build a serious business. The solo founder era is not coming. It is already here. The founders who understand how to architect these systems right now have an advantage that compounds. The ones waiting for the tools to get better before they start are falling further behind every month they wait. If this kind of unfair advantage content is useful to you, subscribe to Venture Void. Hit the bell. We put out new breakdowns every week, specific stacks, specific workflows, specific numbers. No fluff. See you in the next one.